Hi Cancer, this is gonna be your message. So today we're gonna start with an oracle message, what you most need to know right now, because I think this would be the third week that I haven't done a reading for Cancer. So you have this card, number 51, the setting sun sings a song of unmaking. Okay, that's like a lot to say, but it's really about acknowledging. Often sometimes we come to this point where we acknowledge, or maybe some of us don't, but it's knowing that, okay, you may have some ideas about life and love and people and relationships that often we take that when we're younger. You take that for granted. That's how the world is, because that's what we learned and that's how our world functions. But this is about someone who's being asked to understand that, or recognize the beliefs that shape your behaviors and thus shape your reality. So it's kind of being at a place where you either trying to, as Cancers, you're either trying to reckon with this, like you're seeing how maybe in relation to others there's things that it's like ownership of your part. And I always think that's always super emotionally intelligent, to just kind of see, oh, if I approach this way, to take the time to just kind of reflect and even work on those things. So you could be a Cancer who's feeling like, okay, now could be a time for things like looking back at past relationships and just evaluating. We do this for everything else. At work you do it, you have an evaluation, or at school you have an evaluation, but it's probably good to evaluate your friendships and relationships, and just to see, what are the things I'm dissatisfied with, or you're dissatisfied with, and how the ideas you think about what should happen influence the outcome. All right, so we also have, for your color card, we have this kind of magenta hue, and it's like a hot pink. It can feel playful. It can feel, I almost think it feels like ripe or ready to, some of you could be feeling like you're preparing. I don't know, some of you could not have anybody in reality, but there's a sense that you feel like you're preparing yourself for, I don't know, new friendships, new relationships, new romance, all of that. You just may have a sense that that's what you need to do. And yeah, let's see more about this. Let's see what the cards say to continue this. All right, so we have the King of Cups, we have the Nine of Swords, and we have the Chariot. So yeah, I do feel like the Chariot is Cancerian energy, so there could be a call forward. You feel like this is kind of that hot pink energy, right? It's like feeling like you could be ready for something. Maybe there's somebody around you that you're kind of considering. Maybe it's like first contact, like something is clearly bubbling, to the surface, and it could be quite interesting. But King of Cups, it does feel like there's some like emotions and how you relate to someone in a kind of secure and stable way, a supportive way. It seems like that's a situation. It's either somebody that is acting in that role for you, like you see them as somebody that has love for you, or this is you towards another. It can also just being in a place of like emotional balance and being able to offer that out to other people. I think that you are a little bit worried about this. Maybe you think about it a lot. Maybe you feel like, are you ready? Can you trust yourself? And that's why I think it's coming to the setting sun sings a song of unmaking, because it's kind of like, this reminds me of the Hangman. Some of you could have been like sitting out of romance and partnerships and friendships for a long time, but it feels like now's the time. Things are going. And that's essentially what you're saying is the problem, is that things are opening up and you feel unready, but kind of you feel compelled to go forward, but you don't trust that you are ready. Maybe because you have had so many disappointments before, because we do have the Four Cups in your thoughts and feelings. It kind of feels like in partnerships, in relationships, even relating, you feel like you could feel like you haven't quite found the right alignment for yourself, and therefore it's kind of been disappointing. It's been not challenging. It's not been fulfilling is the main thing. But the advice comes with the King of Pentacles. So this is feeling like, you know what, for some of you could have been dealing with a water sign or somebody that has that placement, particularly Scorpio, and it feels like you are being advised to either look at somebody who has a more earthy placement, in particular Taurus. And that's kind of interesting. Cancer, Taurus, and Cancer, Scorpio. Cancer, Scorpio can often be can feel more natural, but it can also feel like it can get away from you in a way, because both those signs have very strong emotionality, and maybe that's the issue here. There's like a person who would be more suited, it feels like, who is more like a kind of earthed person, like not a lot kind of sways this person. They're more supporting and providing, which kind of means that they help stabilize your energy. And I don't mean that it has to be like monetary or financial, but they just show up in that role, like they're very supportive, and so that kind of gives you in a different way a sense of place, a sense of belonging, and trust. Remember, we're talking about trust earlier in yourself and in your capacity in relationships. And the other thing here is, I think you are being encouraged to think about not long term, but like stable relationships. Like think about building stability into your relationships, because think about what's going to be supportive and supporting for you, what's going to be stabilizing for you, not what feels like a lot of emotional quality. So it's like, okay, this is the belief. All right, we got to it. The belief is, for Cancer, you could have a deep belief of the type of relationship you're drawn to is one where there's a lot of emotional connection, maybe a lot of emotional intimacy. That's great. But sometimes if it's built on just that, that can go haywire and become imbalanced. It kind of needs a lot more of the somebody who is a counter to your energy that can kind of equalize. You are like a yin to their yang, this type of thing where you have a quality, sensitivity and all of that you bring, and they bring this kind of grounded energy. That seems like a dynamic that could work really well. Often you do have Cancer and Virgos that are very compatible. So yeah, okay, this is where we end, and I hope this had some resonance for you. Do give a thumbs up if you liked it, and also subscribe to see more readings for you. So take care, Cancer.